Hello everyone, how are you feeling today? It's Everyone here, and today I'm coming at you with my Vendread deck profile. Now this is the last one for zombie months, as you probably know, and you know, we kind of reached 600 subscribers. I'm not sure if in this video we already been over it, on it, or a little bit under it. It's just I'm filming it a few days before I will upload it, so I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, we're around that place anyway, and yeah, this is the last deck profile for the months, or months and a half, and it's, kind of a U-Link zombie Vendread kind of a build. Not sure how much I still feel about this kind of a version of a deck, but let's all be honest, this is pretty much the most viable version of Vendreads. I'm still not 100% sure if I'm playing it correctly. And also, I have some placeholders in the extra deck, because there are 3 extra deck monsters, so to speak, 3 or 4 that I'm still missing. Some of them are way too much high price, some of them are like, I just don't have the ability to get my hands on them. So, without further ado, let's get started. So starting things off with the ritual monsters, we start with 1 copy of Executor, as you've seen. My mind of this card have changed a little bit, because this card is pretty much a really good version to kind of put instead of Goblin. So I kind of like my mind have changed because Goblin is not around anymore. So Executor is just your kind of a placeholder for Goblin and giving you protection for targeting effects. And because you have your ritual spells in the graveyard, you can even banish them to protect him, because it counts as a Vendread Slayer on the field. If it would also count as a Vendread Slayer in the deck, that would have been perfect. But unfortunately, he's only counted like that in the field, which is kind of bad. So yeah. Next up, 2 copies of Battlelord. Battlelord bumped up to 2 because this card is absolutely insane. Really good with a ritual spell. The new ritual spell, newer out of the 2. I don't think it's actually insane in the case of like insane, but it's really insane in the case of like you can stop your opponent's hand traps if you summon this and banish a Vendread card, and then you also, during of course your turn, which is very important, and then also have the ability to, when it sends to the graveyard, you're getting to search a ritual monster and send a card from your deck to the graveyard, which is absolutely a Vendread card, which is absolutely powerful, like very powerful. Next up, we're running 2 copies of Slayer. Slayer is a lot of people going to raise an eyebrow and ask me why the heck I don't run a 3rd. Well, to all honesty, is just a brick to run a 3rd. It pretty much does the same thing as Battlelord does in effect in the grave, but only instead of fighting a ritual monster, it's running a ritual spell. It's searchable with pre-preparation of rights, and even if it's in the graveyard, you can add it back from the graveyard to your hand. So even if you have 1 in the graveyard, 1 in the hand, you can add 1 from the graveyard back to your hand. Seeing this card as a 3-off, in my opinion, is just a freaking brick. Like, it's weird to say this, but it just feels such a brick, and you have so many ways to see him. Pre-preparation of rights can also, like I said, add it to from your graveyard to your hand, so I just don't feel you need to run more than 2. I mean, if you want to run 3 and you want to, add another ritual monster, you're more than welcome to. I just specifically just don't like it. That how is my playstyle works. So, it's totally up to you. Next up, we run 1 copy of Revenant, which is probably the one that I'm considering cutting down completely, because other than its cool effect, is pretty much a brick. The rest are really good because they're giving you an extension, which is Hound Horde, discard a Vendread card from the hand, special summon from grave. Strategist, just send him to the grave, reveal a Vendread card from your hand, and then special summon him. And all of them, of course, when you use their abilities to special summon themselves back, they banish themselves when they leave the field. This one have from destruction from an opponent card effect by battle, or by a card effect or by battle, which I think it's pretty bad. So, other than his other effect, which we'll get to it, it's not really that good. Like I said, this one is discard a Vendread card, special summon. This one is reveal a Vendread card, special summon from the grave. This one banish a zombie, special summon. And this one just banish itself to return a Vendread from your banished pile to your side of the field, which is really good. So this one, if you're using it on the field for ritual summon, giving you the ability to banish a special summon monster, banish a spell and trap, and both of these are quick effects. Attack and discard, draw and discard a card. protected by targeting effect, and also banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. So, I mean, if you ever want to use anything relevant for this one, use this, and this, which why I'm running one of each. But it's just really not that good, this one, so I'm not 100% sure about it. But like, if you're getting this, and this on the field with this, and you have already a U-Link, it's pretty much very hard for your opponent to break the board, I would say that. So, you know, it's just really, really bad for your opponent. And that's pretty much it for the Vendread monsters. 10 monsters as usual. I think that's a healthy lineup for Vendreads. Now we'll move on to the rest of the zombie package. Solitaire at 3 off. I don't think I need to explain. Unizombie at 2 off because I don't have a space, but if you want to run a 3, you're more than welcome to. It just, I think you have Solitaire, so it's kind of playing 5. You're more than welcome to run more if you feel like it. The Zuki Brothers, which are 3 Mizuki and 1 Gozuki, which I think that's okay lineup as usual. And that's it for the usual ones. And then for the additional 4, I'm running 1 Doom King because it's really good. 1 Necrowold Banshee because you can send it to the graveyard, making your nightmares and all of your monsters zombies, which is really ridiculous. And also preventing your opponent for, like, if you're playing Ibli, I specifically don't because I don't have it, but if you have Ibli and you have Necro, like the world, the zombie world on the field and a U-Link, it's very hard for your opponent to break it because you give them an Ibli, they cannot kaiju you. You pretty much prevent your opponent from tribute summoning, so I believe they cannot use Sphere Mode, and then they cannot tribute anything to also make a Mega Fleet, and then you also have negations on the board. It's really hard, and also all of your monsters have protection from battle, from card effect destruction, and from targeting effect. So it's really, really nasty board you can end up with just because you have Zombie World on the field and just pretty much finish your protection. So 1 copy of Necrowold Banshees are really nice. Goblin Zombie, because this card is just keep your deck alive, because you send it to the graveyard, you get to search whatever you need pretty much out of your deck with 1200 or less defense, which is a zombie. And there's so many of them, so this card is really, really good, adding you the ritual monsters which sometimes you need, and or your Mizukis, Unizombies, whatever you need to your hand, and that's really, really good. And then 1 Glow Up Bloom to pretty much search a ritual monster if you need to end a combo piece, which was the time you want to search if you are doing that, search of the Executor, and or search and special summon the Doom King because you have the zombie world on the field. And that pretty much does it for the monsters. I think that's a nice and healthy lineup of monsters. Let's move into the spells. Starting things off with the spells that a lot of people are going to raise an eyebrow off, but I still think it's a really, really good spell. 2 copies of Vendread Charge. This card is discard a zombie, which already you want to have a zombie in the grave, like tribute it, so to speak, tribute it from your, or should I say send it, sorry, not tribute it, tribute it is something else, probably, I'm confused with the alternative red eyes, but whatever. You send a zombie from your hand or face up from your field to the graveyard, special summon a Vendread from your deck, which is really, really good because you can just, let's just say I have a zombie on the board, send, let's just say a Mizuki from my hand, special summon Strigers from my deck because I can, and then use those two, make the Vampire Sucker, and then Strider's effect is going to trigger anyway because I have a card in my hand and I can reveal it, special summon, and then you get to draw a card. This card is not a minus, it's a very good card, it's helped quite a bit. I don't think it's like a 3-off card because, you know, it's a hard once per turn, but it's a really good card to just send the zombies that you want in your hand, which is either a Ritual or a Mizuki in your hand, to the graveyard anyway, and get an additional free monster on the board. So yeah, Vendread Charge is very, very good and very, very underrated in my opinion. Next up, 3 copies of Origin and 2 copies of Evolution. Evolution is really good, but you don't really need more than 2 because it's searchable, and Origin is probably your main ritual spell for the deck, and also giving you protection for your Vendread Slayers, which is really, really good. Which, like I said, Executor count as a Vendread Slayer on the field, so it's giving you protection for your Vendread Slayer as well, which is really nice. Next up, 3 copies of Pre-Preparation of Rites and 1 copy of Preparation of Rites. Sometimes this card is very, very needed, but those are a dumb +1 in the deck, so why not run them at 3? This one, like I said, it's either recycling when you need to, a ritual spell, and also giving you any ritual monster you have except Executor, so it's really, really nice. 1 copy of Zombie World because, you know, we're playing Necroworld Banshee. You only need the 1 in my opinion because more than 1 is a brick. I mean, if you do see it in your hand and you don't have Necroworld Banshee, you can just activate it and just not use all of your zombie cards to just see it in the grave or Necroworld Banshee, and it's kind of like saving you things with Unizombie, but like, you know, I just don't feel you want to run 2. Like, it's a weird thing. You can run 2 and not Necroworld Banshee, but I just think like having the option to just dump it into the graveyard, because it's a lot more easier to dump it in the graveyard, and then also activate this directly, it's really, really good. And then you also have the option, if you see it, still use your Unizombie for something else. So it's never a dead card. It's sometimes bad if you see it with Necroworld Banshee, but other than that, it's pretty a good card. Then 2 copies of Burial from Different Dimension, which I'm considering bumping up to 3. This card is a freaking lifesaver, okay? This card is absolutely ridiculous in zombies and should never have come back to 3, because this card is like, that's why I'm considering bumping it up to 3, is that it doesn't really matter how many zombies you return. Even returning 1 Mizuki every single time can help you extend. You want to probably return like 2 to 3 good cards in your graveyard, but the fact that you can do that, it's absolutely insane. I actually opened up one time that like I had 3 Mizukis in the grave or got them in the grave with Goblin Zombie as well, and the fact that you can just pretty much recycle them back, use all the 3 of them, bring out another bunch of monsters, and then because of this also count them as zombies because of Zombie World, returning your Link monsters and making like a 7 Yule Link, like, you know, not only are you linking your opponent, but also filling your main monster zones as well. It's absolutely insane. That's why I want to run this card at 3, but I'm still playing it at 2 because sometimes it's a dead card in your hand. You want to see it, but it's like, it's one of those cards that like, it's a weird one. And then 1 copy of Foolish Burial, 1 Monster Reborn, and 1 Soul Charge, because every single deck is good with those cards, and, you know, I just want to run those because they help quite a bit. And that pretty much does it for the main deck. Now we'll move on to the extra deck. Extra deck, we'll start off with the Link 1s, of course. 1 Linkaribo and 1 Mermaid. I don't think I need to explain. Also, like I said, if you have Ibli, you want to run Ibli in your main deck. I specifically don't have Ibli, so that's why I'm not running her. Link 2s, 1 Proxy Dragon, 1 Vampire Sucker, which I think is more than enough. Some people want to run a 2, you're more than welcome to. I just specifically think you need just 1. 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix. I don't think you need to run those at 2, like a lot of people do, but, you know, if you want to, you're more than welcome to. This is supposed to be Riprodocus, but, you know, I don't have Riprodocus. The Pentastag have same link markers, so I'm kind of like copying him for the time being. So this is supposed to be Riprodocus, and Riprodocus is really good because sometimes you need to change the type of the monsters that you have, so Riprodocus is really nice for helping you with Summon Sorceress if you need to. Speaking of Summon Sorceress, Lanprontikis, or whatever his name is, this one's supposed to be Summon Sorceress. Like I said again, I'm still ordering it, so, you know, it's like the problem is that with my country, it's a pretty small country, and cards getting a little bit more of a hard time to come from the US or Europe or anywhere, so, you know, I just have to play with the so-called proxies for a while, and some of the cards are a little bit more of a high price, so I'm not willing to pay that, but, you know, so this is supposed to be Summon Sorceress, and this is supposed to be Remprodocus, you know, just because they're really good cards. Trigate Wizard, because Trigate Wizard is freaking awesome, giving you the ability to, also giving you a negate on the board, that's really nice. This is supposed to be a unicorn, but I don't have a unicorn. Topology Gumbler Dragon, and Borlo Dragon to help you deal with stupid stuff. And that's it for the links. If you want to bump it up to 15 link monsters, you're more than welcome to. But I like to have my Synchro package just in case, which is 1 Herald of Arclight, because it can be a negation and can search for you what are called a ritual spell or ritual monster every single time it's in the graveyard, which is really, really good. And when you have Zombie World on the field and you summon this is insane. The fact that you can just summon it over and over and over again and use it for link materials and getting your ritual cards out of your deck is absolutely ridiculous. Stardust Charge Warrior because draw cards is always nice, and Omega because freaking Omega and it's zombies. So, you know, I don't think I need to explain why Omega is good at zombies, and it's pretty much makes sense why he's at 1. And that pretty much does it for my deck profile. So this is pretty much my Vendread deck profile. Like I said, I'm still testing some cards out. I'm not 100% sure about all of the card choices, but hope you guys enjoyed nevertheless. If you have any ways to improve the deck, let me know in the comments down below. I will be more than happy to, because this deck is really, really fun. It's one of the things that I want is like this card getting banned, and then like, you know, the extra link will be still kind of fun, but like not broken unfairness. So, you know, it could be like either you open up really, really good or really, really bad, and then you just it die to your opponent. But if you open up good enough with 2 cards, you just extra link your opponent in a ways that is unfair. So that's why I think like this card just should have gone like in the last ban list. But you know, just Konami. So anyway, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Remember, creativity is the key in this game. Have a good day, guys. Stay safe. And we'll see what we'll do for next week, or we'll see if I have to also take a break for, you know, after Zombie Months, because Zombie Months is over. Anyway, see you guys next time. Bye-bye.